Oh my God.
Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.
This is Marcus Korvald with Studio MMA and MMA Nets, and we're here in Las Vegas at Extreme Couture, Saturday, May 26th. We got a decent heavyweight card today, and then we got Mike Pyle 2 weeks from now. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Feeling awesome.
Looking suntan, been out in the sun a bit?
Oh yeah, I've been out fly fishing a little bit here and there, you know, and so yeah.
And new haircut?
I've had it for a while. You just haven't been around.
It looks
it's
cool,
new
though.
to you.
It is new to me, and it looks.
Yeah.
I like it though. It looks European soccerish.
Thanks.
It's
I think.
Yeah, absolutely European, absolutely.
Soccer-ish.
Soccerish. Football.
Yeah, I got you.
You got your fight on the 8th. Before your fight, your teammate and sparring partner Martin Kampman is the main event next Saturday here in Vegas versus Ellenberger. How many fights do you think Martin is in a title shot?
This fight should be, in my opinion. You know, he's had he was close in the past and he hurt his knee real bad. You know, it knocked him down the totem pole a bit. But, I mean, if there's any welterweight out there that deserves it, you know, it's Cameron.
He's also been very vocal about a rematch with Diego Sanchez, that himself and a lot with him, including people that are involved in the sports, very much feel as well. What do you think about that fight?
Look at Diego's face, man. He looked like he looked like a poster boy for a helmet law. You know what I mean? He won that fight fair and square, knocked him down. You know, I don't know. It's just something just has to be done about the judging system in MMA. It has to be done because this is people's career. These are their careers online when you have some, pardon my French, but dipshit on the other side calling a fight like that, you know.
So say tomorrow, Las Vegas Athletic Commission calls Mike Pyle and say, Mike, we need to change the ruling system of mixed martial arts. What should we do?
I would say thank you very much, first of all, for calling me. I appreciate that. They have to go through some vigorous training. They have to go through some type of a training that they understand, you know, what's a dominant position, what's not a dominant position, what is really ring control, what isn't, you know, and who's the aggressor, and what's effective and what's not. You know, some things that aren't effective, for some reason looks good in their eyes. You know, there's just a lot of things I think they should go through and you know, and be tested on it somehow. You know, I can't really tell you what kind of curriculum they need to go through or whatever, but something's got to be done.
I think that's the best solution I've ever heard, and we heard a lot of people complaining about the judging, and it's not the judge system as it is in theory, it's the judges themselves.
Yeah.
And you're right, a lot of these guys and don't necessarily have to be fighters, correct? But the need to understand, like you said, positions and so on.
Like I'm sitting here watching the amateur team that's going on right now. They are trying to try out to be on the amateur team. I'm sitting and observing and watching. I'm watching things. They need to come into sparring sessions and they need to be coached themselves and say, okay, now this was a takedown. This effort is not that easy to get on someone. Okay, this is applied. It's nice and clean down on the ground. That's a good, solid. You know, mark that one up. You know, not. They just need to sit and watch things and be trained on what's going on and have things explained to them, and then somehow, some way, be tested on it. You know, and get an opinion. Say, hey, what did you think about? Was that successful? Was that good? What just happened? And if they're wrong, then they're out. You know what I mean? Then they're out.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of logic behind it, and some people, they just don't have logic. You know, some people aren't logical.
But it's like any profession in the world. In order to have a job, you have to go through scenarios. You need to either do exams if you're in school or if you're becoming a CPA.
Yeah, you don't have screwballs calling shots in the NBA playoffs, the refs, right? You got trained people that are calling the shots, you know, that are calling the fouls, that are calling these things. and at the end, you know, you have a bad ref calling a bunch of it. It just fouls up the whole thing, and then in turn could ruin the whole playoffs. That doesn't happen. Why? Because they make sure that things are taken care of. You know? And something needs to be taken care of with that.
Absolutely.
And it's not UFC's fault. It's not MMA's fault. And I don't know whose fault it is.
Commission
might be the commission there. I'm not pointing fingers, but
it's actually behind it.
Yeah, but
it is the commission.
But you know, those things need to be taken care of. I mean, they're on it when it comes to drug testing and things like that, as they should be. More emphasis needs to be put on protecting our careers.
So, Martin, next week, tonight, we've got the first ever all-heavyweight main card for the UFC. Are you excited? Do you enjoy watching heavyweights?
I like watching heavyweights, you know, because one good punch, you know, it could be over, especially with Dos Santos, you know, with his heavy hands so yeah, this is going to be good. Some got jumbled around a bit, you know, throughout, but all the matchups I'm looking forward to seeing.
Any predictions on any of the fights?
I'm not one to call on predictions. I just, you know, I see that it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see Stefan Struve and LeVar get after it. It's going to be interesting. And props to LeVar stepping up, you know, after that nice win that he had against Pat. So stepping up to the skyscraper, that should be a good one.
I'm pretty impressed. We talk to fighters, and a lot of times they're not that aware of what's going on around themselves, except from they keep an eye on potential opponents in their own weight class. Not only are you, it's been like you said, a little bit of a mix-up in who's fighting who in heavyweights. You really stayed up on this, and here you are watching the amateur team. Yeah. Are you a big fight fan yourself?
I'm a huge fight fan. This is my life. You know, this is my life. So, I mean, I try to be involved with it in every aspect. You know, I don't sit and surf the web by no means and follow fighters and things like that and follow their Twitter and see what they ate for breakfast and things. I don't care. But what I care about is the matchups and the potential champions that are coming up the ladder and things like that. I like the sport. And, I want to always continue to be involved in the sport, whether I'm participating or I'm you know, coaching or whatever it is. I always want to be a part of it because it's always, martial arts has always been a part of my life, and it always will be.
And it is a big part of your life 2 weeks from now, on June 8th, in Florida.
Yep. Lauderdale, Florida. Yep.
What's been different in this training camp from previous training camps? What can fans expect to see from Mike Pyle in this fight?
Well, nothing really, you know, changed. 2 fights. You know, last fight I hired Nate Pettit for to be my head coach. And to help me out with the necessary things and get some good one-on-one coaching and attention that I've needed for a long time. And all of that is working out great. You know, I just look forward to coming out. And there's not going to be. I'm not going to have any trouble trying to find near in that cage because he's going to be right there. You know, here's that type of fighter. It's going to be in your face, and he's there until the beginning of the bell to the end. And you know, he's not going anywhere. He's going to stand right there with you. So I look forward to that matchup and that challenge.
But Nia, did you see Josh's last fight?
I did. He got a nice, good, clean choke on Bang. He looked good. He got caught a little early in that fight, but you know that Dwayne's good. You know, Bang's good with his hands, and but you know, hey, he got dropped, turned around, won the fight. So you know that just goes to show how hard-nosed he is and the experience level that he has.
And that was a deep choke. Dwayne was snoring after that.
Oh yeah, he put him out. Yeah, he means business. He gets a hold of your neck. If you give Near something, he'll take it, man. You know, he's no stranger to the game. You know, so you can't make a mistake with him. You make a mistake with him, and you'll pay the price.
And about your new coach, Nate?
Yep, Nate Pettit.
And is he Extreme Couture as well?
No, he's at Throwdown right now. So But yeah, so I just work with him on the side, and I prefer to have some good one-on-one coaching and things like that I need. So
almost like a head coach for the camp.
Yep. He's a good all-around MMA coach.
What's so important? We see, some of these top coaches in the world are considered, at least by media, the best. From Jackson, obviously, to first up for GSP and Rafael Cordeiro, for example, like King's MMA. How important is it, and what's, in your opinion, the head coach's job?
Well, I think to keep you on track, keep you motivated. Also to be be in the gym, work on new things. Sit down, watch video with you, and go over and get on the same page. Mainly get on the same page as one another. And it's important also to have a coach that has an open mind. Or if he sees an amateur guy do some cool move. Not cool, but something very practical and things that's logical.
Right.
Incorporate that. Whatever. It is what it is. It's something somebody came up with and it works. Use it. You know what I mean? Have an open mind, and that's that's one thing about Nate. He always has a half full cup. So he's always ready to put more stuff in, and that's big for me. So having a coach with a good open mind and a good work ethic is great as well.
So if you could say one thing that Nate's done different, one thing, or the major thing that you thought that this is the major change in Mike Pyle and Mike Pyle's training camp.
One thing I would have to say, dedication to me and my well-being and my career.
So I think most people know you as a funny guy, say some funny stuff a lot of times. What's one side of Mike Pyle that people don't know?
One side of me that would be completely boring to people, probably. I'm a fly fisherman.
Fly fisherman?
Yeah, I go fly fishing. I tie my own little flies, and I sit in my own little nook in the house, and nobody around, and I just make all my little creations, and then I take them to rivers and streams and catch fish with them.
Are you good at it?
I'm very good at it. Very, very good at it.
Are you competitive with it?
I want to compete with it.
You have no one here, like you go, hey Martin,
No
or
one
Jay
here.
here on, let's go fly fish. Let's go one more.
I have a good friend that we go fly fishing, but it's not about competing with one another. It's just about being out there and sharing the open space and nature and having fun and producing fish on flies that I tie, because he can't tie a fly at all, but I can. I'm just saying.
Tying a fly, that sounds almost a little bit kung fu-ish, a little bit true martial artist-ish.
Well, I mean, it's very minutest little small work. You know what I mean? You got to make it look right, or you won't catch any fish. You know what I mean? So, you got to do it right.
3 tips for people that fly fish. What's the key to tying a fly when you go fly fishing?
Key thing to tying a fly: match the hatch. That's 1.
Match the hatch.
Foam is home. That's 2.
Foam is home.
And enjoy yourself.
Match the hatch. Foam the home.
Foam is home.
Foam is home.
Foam is home.
Have fun with it. Looking forward to you having fun with it on June 8th. Then make sure you watch Mike Pyle June 8th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida against Josh Nim. Thank you.
And it's on Fox too. Live on Fox.
Free.
Check it.
Don't miss it.
Programmet presenteras av Betsay.com.